All right, so I'm gonna go part two here because for some reason we had an interruption. But if you guys want to call in, it was going great, and then all of a sudden you guys got knocked out, or I got knocked out, one of the two. So I apologize. See, even when I fix things, something goes wrong, and I didn't see any issues, no warning lights, no nothing going off. This all should have went right. I'm beginning to think it's the program Lula. So I don't know, like the one I'm using, like I got to figure out a program where I could integrate everything. I tried Streamlabs, didn't like it too much. Yellow Duck sucks. Paul Sereno's claiming that he hacked me. So I'm sorry. So let's go to part two. Let's just do phone calls. And then we'll talk about what you guys want to talk about moving forward. Dan's saying the nice connection must be the the Minecraft. The Minecraft comes from the Lula. It doesn't come from my system. Here we go. There's the first phone call. By the way, it's the Halo Honk line.
Hello, get the honks ready.
Uh-oh.
The Mariners are going to the playoffs.
Congratulations, by the way, even though you're our rivals, dick.
Oh, man.
So what do you got on it, man? First time in the postseason in 21 years, Leaf.
Yeah, first time in my life. So that's crazy to think about. It's just feels absolutely surreal.
I know that place was going nuts up there, especially how you guys got in a walk-off. That's a generational shot right there. There's two generations that haven't seen the baseball in playoffs. So, like I said, congratulations. And you guys actually have a really good chance against Toronto.
Yeah, I do think so. I do think we definitely have a chance to beat Toronto. I don't think we'll get anywhere further in Toronto because the Astros they own us.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I think the goal was just get to the playoffs. Obviously, we're not done, but the first goal has definitely been checked off. Which,
well, again,
considering how we started off. Oh,
no, go ahead.
Considering how we started off, we started off like 29-39.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think at that point, it's like, oh, great, here we go, one of these seasons again.
Well,
where that is.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you guys are playing with house money. So, the fact that you just got in the postseason, Houston, like that's why I tell a lot of people, the teams like the Dodgers that win 110 games, I don't give a shit. Same thing about the Houston Astros winning over 100 games, fine. That's great. You had a great regular season. This isn't your first go-around. Either one of those teams, Atlanta Braves, New York Mets, they can boast about winning so many games, but it's what have you done for me lately? Most of those teams that win over 100 games, they rest their starters going down the stretch. They're not playing hot like the Mets and Braves because they're trying to win a division. They're coasting, and look what's happened every time when that happens. You know what I mean? A team like the Cardinals will bite them in the ass. So that's what you got to play with right now. The Mariners had to stay hot too to stave off the Orioles, and because the Orioles were coming on. So you want that pressure as much as a lot of fans would like to say, man, I wish the Angels would just lock up September. And, if they get into the postseason, they're up 10 games. That's great. I'm along the lines of I'd rather play my best baseball in the final month and shooting forward, sort of like what Anthony Gonzalez and Dan were saying earlier. It's like you want to see those teams get on hot streaks going into the postseason.
Well, if you think about when you're talking about walking out September early, the last time you guys did it, you won like 98 games tops in like all of baseball, and you got swept first round.
Yeah.
So winning the most games in baseball, it's cool and all, but when going off momentum, that might not be the best of things.
Well, same thing with the Mariners. They won like 116 in 2001 and got bounced right away.
They struggled against Cleveland, took them 5 games, and then got throttled by the evil empire of the Yankees.
Yeah. They just didn't look like the same team from the regular season. So
no, they did not.
So so what it comes down to here now is like, again, you guys are playing with house money, and you guys should have a good opportunity against the Blue Jays. Both teams have a little to actually Toronto's got a little bit of experience in the postseason, but not too much. But you guys are going in there fresh, and sometimes teams like that, they never seen the postseason before, they could do some things because it doesn't scare them. They either get scared or they're just like caught in the or not caught in the moment. They just play. Whereas other teams feel the pressure and they fold because hey man, we've been doing this all year, and if they run into a hot pitcher, like say for instance Castillo's dealing, they're going to start feeling the pressure. If you guys could steal game one, boom, there you go. You already got your foot on their neck. You just got to push down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was also kind of thinking about when you're talking about the Cardinals sneaking up on people. It's like, I think the Cardinals are kind of like the San Antonio Spurs of baseball, that you do not want to underestimate them ever,
mm-hmm.
or else they will bite you directly in the ass.
Yeah, they are probably one of the smartest teams out there. Well-run organization. They're basically the Pittsburgh Steelers of baseball, or they do the right things.
Well,
they're always consistently winning.
They're the Pittsburgh Steelers prior to the whole Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell days of our Steelers type of nonsense.
Okay.
But
I'll give you that.
That's beside the point.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But all right, Leaf, did you pop any champagne the other day or what?
No, I'm underage, so I can't do that. But if I was legal to do that, I would have.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, you could have did the apple cider. So there you go.
Yeah, I could have.
There you go. All right, man. Well, you have a good one, Leaf.
Yeah. Take care.
We'll talk to you.
Go Seahawks.
Yeah, go Hawks. All right, that's Leaf right there. The number to call in is 714. What is it again? Just had it. It's been a while. Sorry. It's 714-598-3221. It's the Halo Hawk line.
What up, Todd?
What's going on? This is Abraham.
It's weird how we can come to an end of the season. Like, okay, if for Angels fans, we just need the regular season to be the first half and the last half that counts. Because if that mattered, we'd be in the World Series every year if that happened.
Yeah.
Just forget about the midseason. Like that doesn't count. That's just more like preseason. Just to get ready for October baseball. Because it's weird how the Angels can start off hot, and we get into this weird like habit of having too much pressure on us because we're the Anaheim Angels, or we have to have all this expectations for Trout and Ohtani now, and at the end of the season, like all eyes are off us. It doesn't matter. Let's just play real baseball this time. Show that we're actually a good team, but we can't handle a little bit of pressure.
Yeah. Well, I think the difference in the previous 4 years or 3 years prior to this one was the fact we just had no pitching to lean on. It had none, and it was a bunch of just inexperienced DFA, Tucker Davidson kind of pitchers. Now we have a legitimate rotation that coulda, woulda, shoulda with the offense would have been in the postseason. And one of our boys, Andrew from our page, he's one of the tech guys, and he told me, the Angels without those two big losing streaks they had, the 14 and I think another 9-1 or something like that. We went on another losing streak. He said the difference is we were 80-65 in the rest of the games, or not 80-65. We were what did he say? I think he was like 75 and something or whatever, or not 75 because they have 73 wins. Anyway, I forget when he said we were 60-45, minus those bad streaks that we had. So we had, we played pretty good baseball, and we just hit those streaks to where we just couldn't do anything right. And like you said, the middle of the season was just I don't know, man. It all fell apart for us right before the All-Star break.
Yeah, and it's like now, it's like if we took those past 4 years, like we had the hitting and stuff, developing and stuff, and then our pitching just held us back. If we have because now back then, those past 4 years when I every game I went to or like watched on TV, it's like, oh man, they're bringing this guy in the pitch, like the game's over, like we have no hope. But now it's like, okay, we have this guy coming in, we give hope to him, and then you get another guy that comes in, all right, we'll come to him, and then you get Loop. Like as much as Loop was struggling this year, they gave him the position that they signed for, probably like the 8th inning or like 7th inning, just that 1 inning. He does really well, because he's adapting to what he learned, what he was used to, not putting him in that awkward situation where we need 3 good solid innings from you. I'm like, he's probably like, I'm only good for maybe 1.5 innings or 1/3 of an inning. Like I can't go more than 2 innings because I was drafted or I was signed because you told me I was going to do this. And it's like next year we need our rotation, I would say this year was really good. You know, all these guys should have had positive records. Like Otani should have 22 wins. Detmer should have had a higher win rate, as well with the other guys, because the only thing that set them back was not their pitching. Yeah, they had some games where they let up a lot of runs or they struggled, but the majority of them were just because we were down 1 run. And I was watching this video where the Angels lost a consecutive games by 1 run twice in a season. We lost, I think it was 4 or 5 games in a row, by 1 run, and we did that twice in the whole season.
Yeah, and there was a lot of times too. I mean, you're out there. I remember the Yankees series in particular where they scored 1 run each of the 3 games. You can't win baseball games like that. I don't care who's pitching for you. And we've seen games too where another reason why I would give Otani the MVP, a lot of times where he won those games, he was a contributing factor. Either he hit a 2-run homer or he had a 2-run double. He did something to give himself RBIs because his team wasn't doing it. So there's a good chance he's going to finish with 16 wins this year. And yes, you're right. He could have had over 22 wins. He could have, it would have been more fantastic. And you could have had more guys on base. But it's the coulda, woulda, shoulda, and what could have been. I mean, this team, like what you're seeing from the Mariners, is what you could have seen from the Angels. The Angels could have had that walk-off moment getting into the postseason. They could have had that moment where we have 42,000 almost at Anaheim Stadium going nuts, having the We Believe shirts, and we're all dressed in red going to the postseason. We could have been doing that. We could have been doing a live from Angel Stadium as they set up for the wild card with the Blue Jays. It could have been us. And I think that's the most frustrating thing is all you have to do is look at certain guys like Otani, like you said, or even Sandoval. Had great career years, and basically for what? They pitched their asses off, but the wins don't show, and we lost most of those games.
Yeah, and it brings me, like, it hurts us as fans because we were coming into the season, as well, like, okay, new year, new us, like, we're gonna see what happens. The first couple months was nothing but greatness for us. We're over here talking about getting the first spot or maybe even second behind the Astros. But like after that, like they just stopped playing. They started playing lazy. Like they didn't want to bring anything to Anaheim anymore. It's like what we want as fans is just a trip to October. That experience of being able to go into the 11th or the 12th of October, knowing that our team's going to play in the wild card. We get to have a 3-game stand, and we just get even if it's at home, play at home, it's going to be even better. We can try and sell out Angel Stadium, and nothing but the Red Sea. It's just something that people back in 2002 got to experience. They were struggling throughout the season, came back and got that spot, and they went on to win the World Series. Just imagine their feeling of knowing your team made it after struggling a little bit to come back and win a World Series.
Exactly, and I really want the fans to experience that. For all the fans that didn't experience a postseason, I was lucky I got to go to a playoff game and a World Series game. It's amazing, and I think what would make it even more amazing, even to get back to the wild card round, would be the fact that you can have a chance now to show off your fandom. It's like 10 times better now with social media, and now you can just go absolutely nuts because you've had to wait so long. So I think that's what you're going to see from the Mariners fans. They've had 21 years of waiting. So watch that place up there rock. So when hopefully it comes back to us, we could do the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I hope. And then now we just have to wait for the off season and see the moves that happen. I had a Yankee fan come into my work one day and telling me that Otani's not going to win the MVP and this and that. But I told him Judge might have his 61 home runs or 60 home runs by the end of the season, maybe 62. But I told them I've never heard of Judge, one post about Judge making one good play in his position that he's on in center field or wherever he gets put. I've never heard one thing about his glove out there. All I heard is his bat while Otani's out here going to go for 16, I think, wins as a pitcher with qualifying for being the top pitcher and qualifying as a hitter, something that's never been done before. And it's like you got to give it to Otani or have at least a close race to make everyone happy if they want it. But I really strongly believe Otani's going to get that second MVP this season.
I do too. I think he's going to come back to piss off the East Coast Riders. And plus he's fast too. So there's another thing that Judge can't do. All right, Abraham, thanks for the call in, man. And be sure to tune in on Wednesday, man. We're going to do the Fan Appreciation Day.
All right.
All
Take care,
brother.
bud.
You got it.
Bye.
Couple of comments right here, though, real quick. You guys are dicks. Anthony says, you got to get married under the big A at the stadium. That would be cool. That's not a bad part. But when he says Squiddy Poo would be the best man. Also, can Stassi be the flower boy? Gooby would walk Todd down the aisle. Screw you guys. This is the Halo Honk line.
What's up?
What's up, Hunter? How you doing?
Long time.
Really long time. I figured it's because you're back in school.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay. So what's been going on, man?
My team lost today.
Okay.
We were down 5 going into the last inning, and we scored 4.
Oh, okay. Well, you made it a game at least.
Yeah, we lost 8-9.
Okay. You weren't the last batter up, though, right?
Nah, I was on deck.
Oh, you were on deck. Oh, it's even worse, man, because you're just praying for that kid to get a hit to give you the chance to win it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I know you had a good season. Your numbers are good. They're not statue Stassies, right?
No. I almost threw a guy out today,
Just-
but he was super tall, so he got to his arm just reached out and he got there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If you were my height, I would have thrown him out.
There you go.
He was about me.
All right. Well, we know you got an arm, too. I've seen a few of your highlights getting hits and stuff, so we know you can hit as well. Any plans for next season? Or are you guys done?
I'm playing fall ball, so I'm playing a fall ball travel ball team with my friends. So, yeah, we're right now 2-1.
Okay. So I figure if you keep playing, we're going to know who you are in about a few years. You know, when you start, after you get out of high school, maybe you go to college for about a year or two and then get drafted. I think we're gonna have some insight on Hunter, because usually kids that have parents because that's a hard thing to have two parents that work, take care of other kids, and then also make sure you do good in school, and then raise you right, and then the fact that you gotta you're gonna be going to travel ball, winter ball, fall ball, all this stuff. They're keeping baseball a big focus to you. Those are the kids that make it to the major leagues for the most part. So you got a good upper hand. You just got to get good grades, keep it going, keep being smart, keep working on your game. And we might know the Hunter, you may not be wearing an Angel jersey, but you might be wearing a jersey of one of these MLB teams.
I want to be in an Angels jersey as long as Artie isn't my owner.
Well, hopefully he'll be gone by then. But
He might be dead.
no, I didn't mean it that way, but all right. However you want to put it.
What was I gonna say? So
Mm-hmm.
when I'm stuttering. The Angels, I remember. I think it might have been a month and a half into the season. I told my dad, I think we can actually win this division this year. I think we're going to be up there with the Astros. And I think we might be able to win this division. And we're in 3rd place right now.
Yeah, and 31 games out. 13 of the wild card. Look, I was with you, Hunter. In the first couple months, I was thinking this team's got a chance to be something special. And unfortunately, the Mariners turned out to be what we were supposed to be.
Yeah.
So.
Good for them. They actually, some of their fans weren't even alive the last time they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
A good portion.
Well, yeah, or they had no idea who the Angels were. They just knew the color red. So.
Yeah.
Because you're 10, right? Or 11?
No, I'm 11. I turned last month.
Oh yeah, there you go. Belated happy birthday. So you're 11 now. So yeah, going back, it was about 8 years. Yeah, you weren't even in kindergarten when the last time they were in the Angels. The Angels were in the playoffs.
Nope.
So think about it. Leaf wasn't even born the last time they were in the postseason. So
Jeez.
yeah, that shows you something.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? The Angels.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, we have so much potential. We literally, I think we might have the two best players ever. Like talent wise, we might have the best combo of talent
Mm-hmm.
anyone's ever seen.
Well,
Like we have the most
the most what?
gone. We have the most talented player ever,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the thing that's frustrating to Angels fans is check this. The last 2 years, Trout's missed significant time when Otani's been going off.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, if you're a basketball fan, the Lakers, when they had Kobe and Shaq, there was just a 1-2. They were the best on the court at both their positions at the same time. If you would have had Trout in his prime, which I think he's starting to come out of his prime, but, you know, if he was healthy, doing the things that he's doing now at the end of the season, and with Otani doing his stuff, you would have had, as far as baseball back in the day, when I remember two guys that just dominated, it was the Oakland had Mark McGwire and Jose Canseco. And those guys were the Bash brothers. And they were hitting home runs, and they were flexing their muscles, and they were fun to watch. Even though I hated Oakland, they were fun. And I think the Angels could have something like that, but you just can't keep Trout healthy. And they don't have the surrounding players around them to help complement them to get guys on base, because this is the Han Solos of the league. They hit too many solo home runs. So if you had more guys on base, these guys crushing home runs back to back or hitting 3-run homers, it'd be huge.
yeah, I swear, anytime Trout's hurt,
Mm-hmm.
Shohei's playing out of his mind.
Yeah, because he has to.
Yeah, and if I'm Shohei Ohtani, I'd hate these guys. There's literally, he comes up with 2 outs.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the stat. I can't remember. Not even 2 weeks ago. It was a high number, I should say. Percent, like a high number percent of his at bats, he was up with 2 outs.
Yeah.
Like, ever since he stopped batting leadoff, that number, it's been high.
Yeah.
Because we can't get on base. Because all we're doing is our Jared Reed and Paul Serena are like, if you guys hit the ball out of the park, we're going to win these games. But guess what? You guys can't, so we're not going to win these games.
Well, last thing I'll say about this, Hunter, is if, let's just say, hypothetically, Renifo comes back and he's your leadoff guy, which I love him in that spot. And let's just say Soto can hit, and he proves it, and he somehow makes that position at short. You got Fletcher at the bottom. You got O'Hoppe down there. And let's just say Rendon's in the lineup, and he's raking. And then let's just say, like I said, you got Ward and Walshy hitting good now without the shift. If that's your lineup, or at least most of your lineup, and those guys are all healthy, you should win a lot of games with this pitching staff. You're going to be putting up 4 to 5 runs a game, because one of those 5 superstars in the middle, unless you don't want to call Ward a superstar but a complimentary hitter, but you have 4 superstars in Walsh, Trout, Ohtani, and Rendon. If those guys are hitting to their potential, this team's going to score runs, and then you're going to, like I said, since the beginning of the year, you're going to have to pitch around those guys, and if they're not hitting but getting on base still, like walking or maybe getting only singles, the other guys will drive them in. But when those guys were getting on base in the beginning of the season, the bottom of the order was terrible. They weren't getting anybody in. Yeah. So that could be the difference next year. It could just be a tweak here, a tweak there, another player here, another player there, with good hitting instructors, and this team could take off.
I was thinking about this. When both Nito and Jeremiah Jackson are both up,
mm-hmm.
Who do you think is playing shortstop?
Well, something struck me, the fact
that
I think Nito gets it, because something struck me, the fact that Jeremiah Jackson took a little longer to come through the system, and they didn't give him an opportunity this year. They went with Soto. So if Soto's better than Jackson, I would say Jackson gets dealt in the offseason, and you're going to have Neto coming, doing battle with Fletcher, whoever they got at shortstop along with Soto, because Neto's been blowing through the minors. I actually thought, him and O'Hoppe would come up late September next year, but we're hearing rumblings that Neto could get a spring training invite. So we'll see.
I loved that pick. I was screaming shortstop.
Yeah, it was a perfect
Like, I
pick,
was
right?
screaming, if we don't pick a shortstop, because Squid,
Mm-hmm.
I think he swings with tentacles.
Yeah.
Because that back speed is slower than Christmas itself. Like I could literally live 3 Christmases before his bat gets through the zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then his bat is like completely parallel to the ground.
Yeah.
I was screaming short.
Yeah, Neto's got way more contact, and he's got some power. So, I mean, you want to balance in a type of player like that. You don't want an all-or-nothing hitter like freaking Squid. So, but hey, thanks for the phone call, and be sure to call on Wednesday, dude, because that's Trivia Wednesday where we're going to be giving away a whole bunch of stuff.
All right, bet.
All right? You have a good rest of your weekend, all right, man? Do good in school because I want to see you in the majors, all right?
Okay.
All right, Hunter. Have a good one, man. Oh, there's the Halo Honk line.
It's Grill Master.
Grill Master, real quick though, I really want to answer this question real quick before I get to your call. Do you think Pujols would have hit 700 with the Angels had he stayed? Nope. All right, go on.
I don't think Albert had a chance. I think when he left, he was at 663.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Because I knew he had passed Willie Mays just at the end of COVID year. But, sorry, I'm not 100%. I was a little sick on Friday. I'm negative, though, so that's good.
Oh, you're negative?
But I'm feeling, but I'm feeling a lot better today. Still a little bit of cough. I had body aches and all that shit going on Friday and Saturday.
Nice. But hey, it's not killing anybody anymore, so everyone's got to stop freaking out about it. It's a flu, people.
Yeah. So just, you said something about just if you eliminated those bad streaks in the middle of the season, that we would have made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's still hard for me to not rip the team about them just absolutely sucking.
Well, no, I mean, if you know me, I like this. I'm not Mr. Positive like our boy on AM 830. But, there's some times where I'm like, man, I just can't take that much negativity. But they deserved it, bro. I mean, we were the laughing stock for almost a month.
Just think of it this way. If we won 14 in a row and then 9 in a row, the Angels would have made the playoffs. And even James can say the same thing.
Well, yeah, it's funny. If we would have won half those games. So, say, for instance, we win 7 of the 14 and maybe 5 out of the 9. I guarantee we're at least in the hunt. Like Cody says, he would love to be in the hunt at least. We would have been there. You never know.
Yeah, I was driving, so I kind of missed a lot of the show. Was on my way back to college.
Oh, okay. You're getting ready for tomorrow, huh?
I've had 2 very chaotic weeks, and some of the stress has made me sick.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Don't feel too bad. And you got finals coming up soon, or what?
Oh no! I have a midterm coming up.
Oh, midterm.
We're only 7 weeks into the semester.
Bro, I don't know nowadays. Colleges start at all different times, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, when you're in a Cal State system, you start right around my birthday of August 23rd.
Oh, okay. Cool.
The UCs, I have friends who are in the UC system. They started in the first week of September. That's when my high school would start, and not many high schools started like that.
That's true. Well,
great game. How about this? Levon Soto, backup shortstop next year. I don't see him as a starter because obviously way too short of a sample size.
Yeah, I mean, I could not give him the keys to the car. He needs to earn it a little more, but damn, I like what he's doing. I really like what he's doing.
And let's ask you this, I feel like he's the new version of David McKinnon because I'm still pissed that we got rid of that dude. He's giving us productive at-bats and productive outs. He's not swinging at terrible pitches like Marsh did
Mm-hmm.
and Walsh did.
You know,
Like,
and
I think you give him a chance. And I'll say this. Everybody rips on Adele, including Steelers. But
Yeah.
the thing is, you give Adele, like with Marsh, a real hitting coach. You give him the actual coaching that he needs. He's going to hit 20 homers in a season, and he'll steal you 10 bases.
Yeah, but you know what? A guy like him, I would love for him to have a Renifo-like year. If Soto hits about maybe, let's just say he plays a full season and he hits you 12 homers, 59 RBIs, but he bats you 329, has almost 80 runs scored or more, and maybe steals you about 15 to 20 bags. Bro, that is the prototypical number 1, number 2 hitter, number 8, number 9 hitter that this team has been dying for. And I'm willing to give up some defense for it. You know, I know he's not the greatest shortstop, but I don't care. I don't care anymore. We need production.
If you play Levon, you got to keep him in the 8 because Fletcher's staying staying as a starter most likely because he's too talented not to be. He's your 9 hitter. And think about this: if you have a lineup like this, I don't know if Renifo's gonna stay as good as he is. I honestly don't think he will. Just because that's me and just the history of him. He gets kind of on a roll, then he slumps. Maybe I'm wrong this year, but who knows? But the way I see it, Renifo, Ward, Trout, Ohtani, Rendon, Walsh, O'Hoppe, Joe Adele, David Fletcher.
That's what you may have to go with. But I mean, as long as if you have Soto on the bench, you have other guys that can hit that are on the bench instead of these weaklings, then this team's going to be so much better. You got guys on the bench that are actually pushing the starters. That's the key. So you might not have to get you might not have to go out there and get a huge free agent backup outfielder, but you can get a good enough outfielder that he's going to be playing every other day and mixing it up with Adele and trying to have Adele keep his spot out there. Competition's good, you know, and I think you need that.
Did Magneuris stay with us? Did he not get claimed?
Who?
Magneuris Sierra.
I think I don't know if he took the assignment. He's bounced around a lot.
I see the news from the other Halo accounts that say people get claimed off waivers or they clear or they pass through.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in another couple of days we'll learn if Magneuris stays with the team or not. Like if you need somebody to replace him, say in case Trout and Ward get injured, put Magneuris in center field because he has that defense.
Yeah, he's been around. Yeah, I mean he's been around for a while. I'm telling you, outfielders are a dime a dozen. You could find a lot of guys like Magnus, or you could find someone with a little bit more power. There was guys that the Angels could have got this free agency that went to other clubs that have had good seasons, and they didn't pay that much for them. So it just comes down to, like I said, the Angels got to hit the free agency hard, but they got to give Ohtani that contract first and then see what they got left.
And they do that next year, not this offseason?
No, they have to do it this offseason because they didn't.
Oh, they do.
They didn't extend him to another year. They just basically avoided arbitration.
Well, I guess that's a good start.
It is actually.
So unfortunately, the way I see it, Assy is going to keep that number 1 spot because of experience. Just unless somehow whoever manages the Angels next year is smart.
Well, yeah,
they would put Logan.
Well, if Logan has a really
1.
good spring training, there's no way that they can pass on him. I think they're going to give him the shot.
Watch them do it somehow because Artie Moreno, hypnotization powers say so.
Well, I'd be shocked if Artie sells before the season starts. To be honest with you, I could easily see it happening mid-season of next season.
Do you not think that we're not going to get the dealer in the off season?
I don't think it'll work that fast unless someone blows him away with that $2.5 billion that he wants. I don't think it's going to get done. There's a lot of paperwork when there's that much money involved.
What about the Warriors, dude, or the group?
Well, they have money, but I haven't heard too many rumblings in a while. I've heard more about the LA Times guy. I've heard a lot about Epstein and Bean putting together because it's not just them two. They've got an investment group being put together. They're really serious about buying the Angels and possibly the Nationals if they can't get their hands on the Angels.
Who was that other guy? Something Soon, who I think is Japanese.
Yeah, it's the LA Times owner.
Oh, that's the LA guy. Well, we'll see how that goes. But yes, the lineup that I mentioned should be your lineup next year. And you bring back Lorenzen. You don't need Thor, which makes me feel Thor on the inside.
Of course.
Sadly. He was a good pitcher, though.
He was. He did his job.
Yeah, well, I think we don't get him back.
No, he's not coming back.
And also with the new rules coming next year, it would be almost impossible for him to stop the running game. His resume is that he doesn't limit the running game.
Exactly.
Because he allows steals at will. But here's the thing. We at least have good defensive catchers. Say what you will about Stazzy, he's a good defensive catcher.
He just can't throw anybody
Logan
out. He likes to throw into center field, too. He's good at that.
Well, he's not as good at it as Kirk is. But
yeah, but Kurt had an excuse. He was old. You know, like
me.
Stassi does not have an excuse. So,
he's old. He's old like me.
No, whatever. Yeah, you're young. All right, Grill Master. Well, you have a good night. And call in on Wednesday, man.
All right, Todd.
And, hey, take some Theraflu. I'm telling you, that stuff works wonders with that flu.
I'll take my Advil.
All right. Just saying, Theraflu's awesome. All right, man.
All right, see ya.
Later. Let's see. Anthony Gonzalez says, I think Rally Chris it's his fault because he's a Chargers fan and they suck full of injuries. Hunter should replace him. Ace brings up Austin Warren. I forgot about Austin Warren. That's how long it's been since he's pitched. Jason says this win today was Tony Phillips and Daryl Henley. Cocaine is one hell of a drug. Also, Todd Fox, I will call you. Yeah, call in Chewing Records. Also, Hunter is going to bed. Yeah, he's got to get ready for school. Grill ate a bad sausage. I went to last night's game and seen 10 Dodger fans, Alex says. Yeah, you got to tell them what I told you the other day. Those jerks. Let's see. Mountain Dew King says, let me join. I think he's going to call in right now. It's the Halo Honk line.
What up, Top Fox? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Jesus? How you doing?
Good, and you?
I'm good, man. Finishing out the year a little strong here.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's a good finish. Sweeping your rivals.
Yep.
Let's see who buys the team next year. I mean, this offseason.
Yeah, let's hope we can get it done. I think after October, you'd have to hear a lot of news in November about it happening for me to think that it's going to get done before spring training. But I'm hoping it gets done because we need an owner that's going to connect with the community and an owner that's going to connect with the fans and be trusting to the players. And if we got all that, I think we'll be good. But, Artie's got a bad reputation, man.
Yeah, Artie's good. He's going to be in bars sooner or later.
Yeah, he could be. He could be. But what did you think about the Angels season this year, man? Now that it's pretty much over. We got 3 games left in Oakland.
Well, I mean, it was same as every year, but, I mean, they did have their up and downs. But, I mean, I thought the Angels are going to be better, but they had the injuries like every year.
Mm-hmm. And this time, like, for the first time I can remember, the pitching was this good. I mean, they were...
Yeah, the pitching was better than last 2 years.
Yeah, I was very happy about how the pitching wound up this year. Starters, bullpen, everyone. I mean, there's a lot of guys that came through that we didn't think were going to be all that good. They turned out really good. I found myself rooting more for the pitching than the hitting at times. The hitting was terrible.
Yeah, and I mean, the prospect. I mean, O'Hoppe, he's pretty good. He's gonna be fighting for his spot in spring training next year.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I mean, we're gonna see what Zach Neto and other prospects do in spring training.
Yeah, there's going to be a flurry of guys coming up that you're going to finally see make the roster. You could finally see Torrey Hunter Jr., who was in AAA, did pretty good through AA this year. He finally get a shot at spring training. So You're gonna, and Jeremiah Jackson, if they don't trade him, he'll be out there. So you're gonna see a lot of guys competing.
Tete Doso too.
That's true. Yeah.
Tete Doso, I mean, he did a crazy catch with Trash Pandas this season.
Yeah. That's a good thing. I mean, it's good to have a plethora of players than to have nobody. You know, like for the first time, I think the minors are starting to build up, and we're starting to see a lot more of these guys coming through. The pitching is going to be very competitive next year. I mean, those young kids that we've been drafting are knocking on the door. So these guys up at the starting level, they can't suck next year because they know if they do, they're going to lose their spot.
Yeah, and we're going to see how Bachman and the other pitchers they drafted, how they do for next year.
Absolutely. He's one that I thought would make an appearance this September, but I think he got injured midway through the season for a little bit. That set him back. But other than that, I mean, he finished out the year really strong for them. So we'll see a lot of these young kids come through next year. It's going to be nice to see.
Yeah, and that's what they were saying before the Angels drafted him, or day before, or before, I don't remember, but they were saying that drafting Bachman is a risk because he's always getting injured.
Exactly, and that's why they were kind of scared to have him as a starter at first. But you never know. I mean, he could be the closer guy. There's a couple guys down there that could get a shot. We might sign a veteran just to see how things go to start the season. So we'll have to see.
Closing, I would give faith to the Trash Pandas closer. What's his last name? Keep forgetting his name or his last name.
Me too. It's a dude that throws 100 miles per hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about his name. Jesus Christ, I can't remember his name. But I know he's been solid down there. So,
I mean, catching wise, I wouldn't be worried because I wouldn't be worried because the guy that played today, he was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
Logan O'Hoppe, he's gonna be good for years to come.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
We got to see who's gonna be the backup catcher because Suzuki's gonna be gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's where I think O'Hoppe's got an excellent chance of jumping Stassi for the number one, and then number two would be probably between Stassi and I don't know if Wallach is signed through next year. I think we only got him for this year, but you got Theis and a couple other catching prospects that you could possibly give a shot to.
True.
And then Ace is checking in with C-Rod and Canning. Are they coming back next year? That's the plan. So you have, I forgot Jesus too. You got C-Rod who could possibly be a closer because he's got some pretty nasty stuff. And then you got Griffin Canning.
I like C-Rod's pitching repertoire. His pitching resume. He has a pretty good pitches. Good pitches.
He's got a lot of good movement, man. If he could stay healthy, he could possibly close. And then you have Griffin Canning to either use as a sixth starter, or you could trade him for some more pieces.
True.
So they got options.
We got options. We're gonna see who's gonna be the owner or owners, because they might. I mean, I heard two people combined. I mean, they want to own together, but I don't remember who are the two guys.
Yeah,
that want to do that.
They got a lot of prospects as far as owners. Oh, and by the way, Jesus, Matt Bedingo checked in. It's Ben Joyce. That's the pitcher we were looking for. Ben.
Oh, Joyce. Yeah, Ben Joyce. He throws 105.
Yeah, dude.
He throws faster than the Seattle Mariners closer, Munoz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got some serious stuff. So, I mean, if he could put it together, I mean, that could be a closer too. I don't like the fact that he's not, what do you call it? He doesn't have the what is it called? The time yet. You need to earn your way to a closer. Yeah. So I think you would probably bring him in for an inning or two, like in the 6th and 7th innings, and see if he could bump his way up. Because it takes pressure to be a closer. I mean, you got to have blood in your vein or ice in your veins. So
true. Yeah. Well, I mean, he had the experience in college, and I think in major league level, I think he would do good. He was good in college.
Yeah, he was. He was. We'll see, man. It's definitely a different beast in the majors, but
Yeah, Joyce, I think he could do good in the majors. It's just that he has to. The Angels had to invite him to spring training and see what he has, because he's done so. He did good in the playoffs and regular season with the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, we'll see next year, man. But hey, call in Wednesday, man, because we're gonna be giving away a lot of stuff.
Oh, okay.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
All right. Take care.
You too.
All right. Good night.
All right, night. That's Jesus right there. Phone line's open. Landon Hoyt says, what do you think about what will happen with Taylor Ward next year? I think he'll be all right. I think he just needs to stay consistent with a good hitting coach. If he hits those rough patches like he did this year, he's got to have what is it called? Someone to set him straight, sort of like what Brandon Marsh should have got. And I think you would see more of a consistent season out of him. He should be your starting right fielder next year to go along with Trout. Now, who starts in left field? Who knows? I think I know who this is. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hi, I'm calling from Sacramento High School.
The home of the what?
Home of the Trains.
Home of the cheesecakes with strawberry dressing.
Yeah, and guess what? Right now, our varsity team's 5-2 going into the bye week.
Nice, 5-2. Okay. Now, are you still making your transition to the starting lineup on that team, or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably start as a junior next year.
Okay, that's what I figured, because you were saying you were on the sideline a lot. If you got bumped up, you're not junior varsity, right?
I'm both this year.
Okay, so they use you as a backup, right?
What?
The seniors.
No. Yeah, for varsity I'm a backup, but for JV I'm a starter on nose guard.
Okay. Because that's what I figured. Yeah. I figured when you were saying you were just there in support, you weren't you had your pads on and stuff, but you weren't starting. So my suggestion to you, bro, is hit the iron for next year. You're gonna have to pump up a little bit.
Hit the grid for this offseason, and I got a good theory next year. Our varsity kicker is leaving, and we only have this one kid who can kick field goals and punt. So I'm thinking, maybe I'll kick off next year and he can punt and I'll do field goals, or he can do field goals. And then my other friend, he's a punter. He could punt for the varsity, and then I could punt for varsity, or I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna get my leg off season strong and get it ready for next year. So
you don't want to pump up and be on the line?
I mean, I'll do both.
How fast? What's your 40 time?
I don't know. I haven't done that in a while.
Because if you give up your speed, to be honest with you, they're going to say you're too small framed for a lineman or even for a D tackle or a defensive end. So
yeah, nose guard's perfect. Yeah, nose guard's perfect.
Nose guard's perfect because you can use your body and you could try to get the double team on you to free up other guys.
Yeah,
but
so that's what I'm doing right now. Just nose guard.
If I were you, though, do you know the playbook good?
Yeah, I'm starting on JV. So.
No, do you know the playbook, though?
Yes, I know the playbook.
Because I would say with your body frame, you're more of a fullback.
That's what I'm thinking. I might when we're up by a lot or something, because we already have two good running backs. So I'm gonna be like, hey, coach, can I go in for a play and run the ball and maybe try to score?
But what's your offense? What offense do you play? Like, is it a single back or is it shotgun, or what do you guys do?
We do either snap the ball from the center or we do shotgun.
When you snap the ball from the center, do you use 12 personnel or do you run I formation, or what do you do?
We do two running backs in the back.
Well, then that's what you do. You don't need to really carry the ball. What you need to do, like I said, pump a little bit of iron. You look like you got some speed.
Yeah.
Fullbacks don't have to be super fast, but you just need to hit the first guy to give the edge to the running back.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to carry the ball. I play rugby and I like running the ball too.
Well, you could
So
still run the ball, but just like as a fullback though, your main thing would be to block, and then also to give support. You can go out of the backfield, catch a little pass. So there's stuff.
Yeah,
I would suggest you being a fullback. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I want to score, man. I want to score.
You could score. There's plenty of fullbacks who've scored a lot of touchdowns. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm not jumping the gun here and saying I'm gonna get in a lot next year, but at running back, but maybe like kicker and stuff. So maybe and defensive line, I'll get in a lot of that.
I would say go fullback because even Cody says keep pounding those dues and you'll get there. See. So keep pounding the weights and the dues, and you'll get there.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna work really hard this offseason. I'm gonna run in rugby because I play rugby too, and so I'm gonna get good in rugby and then get ready for football in spring because we have spring ball, and then get ready for the summer and get on my pads and then see what position I'm playing in.
If you play
I can help out the team.
Last thing I'll say is if you can survive rugby and not fumble the ball in rugby, then you're destined, and I mean destined to be a fullback.
Yeah, well, I haven't fumbled the ball yet in rugby, so I'm chilling.
Okay.
And
all right.
I'm pretty much gonna hopefully see what the team needs for football next year. If they need me to run the ball a couple times on JV, I will, because some of the sophomores who are JV will mostly play varsity next year, and most of the seniors will play varsity, or all the seniors will play varsity, and some of the juniors next year will only play varsity. So I might be a running back for JV next year if they need it.
Well, there you go. All I'm saying is this, dude. If you don't listen to anything else I said, Mountain Dew King, listen to this. Do not waste your talents on kicking. Don't kick. Be a fullback. Be a defensive.
I'm not going to waste it on anything. I'm going to try my best to do everything.
No,
but I'm not wasting my talents on anything.
I'm not saying you wouldn't do good. I'm just saying I think you'd do better at those other positions. I think the kicker's not where it's at, man.
Yeah, I think I would do better at too, but I like kicking. It's fun.
Okay.
I like running out the ball and boom, and just pin them back in the end zone, or go make a tackle or something.
Yeah.
I like doing that too.
Okay.
I like punching and stuff. And
that's just my opinion, man. I'm not trying to crap on what you want to do. All right, I'm just telling you my opinion. Okay?
Yeah, I know it's your opinion.
Okay.
I want to do everything. I don't want to do one thing. I want to do everything.
All right, man. Well, you do first, and then everything else will come, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I don't have a party until my mom's birthday in a couple of weeks, so
okay.
I'm kind of and homecoming. And homecoming's coming up in 3 weeks, so that's my plan. I just got homecoming coming up in 2 weeks, and we get out early on Friday for the parade, and then my mom's party. It's her 40th, so we should have a big one.
Okay, make sure she gets drunk, okay? And that way you could have another brother or sister in 9 months.
Then I could get drunk and she won't know.
Are you sure you know how to get drunk, though?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay, just checking. Just lay off the Shirley Temples. Too many Shirley Temples.
Yeah, and then I could have I could hook up with someone that night.
There you
go. But not have a kid.
And not be a family member either. All right, my man.
Not yet.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
Okay. All right, have a good night.
All right. Well, Angel season over and go Tritons! Oh yeah.
Home of the cheesecakes. There was Mountain Dew King right there. Hope you guys all enjoyed that. Landon says, what do you think about us signing Ohtani for $30 million next year? Well, I think it's a good move, Landon. I think it's going to be something that's going to help the squad have a open dialogue for him. So there you go. Fullback over kicker any day, Cody. That's why I'm saying Gino has better numbers than Russ. Must feel great right now. Halo Realm says, yeah, we had the same record. But he could have won some of those games. I think football, as Mountain Dew, should run for a touchdown. That would be pretty cool. The boom from Mountain Dew Cold. Todd Fox, can you talk like Mad Dog Russo? Ooh, Mad Dog Russo. That's a tough one. I could do the one from I could do Stephen A. Smith pretty good. Let's see. Russo just likes to yell, and that would kill my voice right now. And he uses a lot of hand movements and everything, but Stephen A is like, he's sort of like, I'm just so sick and tired of every time we have to talk about the Browns, we have to mention Deshaun Watson and Deshaun Watson's accusations. And he just goes back and forth like that, just yelling in the mic. Let's see. Also, the Mountain Dew has to be related to Sereno. They kind of look the same, are spaced out quite similarly. Let's see. He's not bad. Let's see. Also, let's see. Yes, sir. Can't wait for Tuesday night, and I gave up on the Angels and just watching football right now. Look, Mountain Dew King, it's like a lot of us. A lot of us haven't been fully invested, and you give what you get, or you get what you get. As far as you're not, if the Angels aren't playing hard, people aren't going to respect them much in the league, and then also fans aren't going to watch as much when the team is playing like crap. But, they're playing a little bit better down the stretch, kind of what we kind of wanted to see them play like all year, because they were losing some of these games to Oakland and Texas earlier in the year when those teams haven't changed too much. So we'll have to see what happens moving forward for the Angels. But, again, the offseason is going to be super, super interesting for the Angels when it comes down to ownership, when it comes down to keeping players, letting guys go, signing Ohtani, trading guys. Who do we bring up? There's court issues with already off the field. So what do they do with the stadium? There's all kinds of stuff. Landon says, what do you think about the Buccaneers should do to fix the season? I think once Tom Brady goes, that organization's going to hit some hard times. They're going to have to hit the reset button. Halo Realm says, Padres or Mets, who would you give the Dodgers a better run for their money? The Mets, actually, for sure. The Mets will make the Dodgers choke. If they face the Padres will roll over and take it like a good girl. It's not gonna be. The Dodgers are they own the Padres for whatever reason. Juan Soto and all those guys together, it does not matter. Padres have a big name team, but they just can't get it done. They're not clutch. Their pitching's up and down. I'm telling you, my picks to beat the Dodgers are 3 teams: the Braves, the Mets, or the freaking Cardinals. A lot of people are sleeping on the Cardinals, but I'm telling you, man, the Cardinals know what to do come postseason. They just have that it factor. And again, the Dodgers have been just coasting this entire time, this entire month. They have a lot of holes in that lineup. A lot of people have, and it's you can get away with Dustin May out pitching the Rockies, out pitching the Diamondbacks, getting those easy wins against the Giants. They're not really having to try too hard. You can get away with guys not hitting. Max Muncy's hitting under 200. Bellinger's hitting under 200. They have, not Trey Turner, but the other Turner at third base not having a good year. There's about 4 or 5 guys in that lineup that suck completely, but they've had mediocre competition all season. And for the most part, they've gotten really good starts out of Goslin and a couple of the other pitchers that they have. And then also Urinal Cake, Urias. And then you have, Kershaw being somewhat Kershaw. And you know what you're going to get with him come postseason. So I'm anxious to see who knocks him out first. I'll give you that. I'm going to tell you that right now. I do not foresee them making the World Series. I just don't. I think there's too much competition in the NL, and then the AL is going to be a tough walkthrough too, or that's not going to be a walkthrough. Let's see. Lennon says he wants the Mets to win the World Series. And then also Ace says, I can't wait to see the wild card round this season. It's going to be different. Yes, it's going to be fun, Ace. It's going to be a different beast. And yes, Urinal Cake, that's why I call that douche, his domestic violence stuff. And just, I can't stand how they pump that dude up. And that's another guy who I believe you put on any other squad, and I believe that he's just average. And, a lot of these, it's the perfect storm when you pitch for the Dodgers. You have a rabid fan base that loves to stab and shoot each other during games and, use stun guns and everything else like that, bash each other with beer bottles. You have that rowdiness that scares off the opposing fans from coming to the stadium, and they're decent fans, their own decent fans from showing up. Then you have the fact that Dodger Stadium is a tough ballpark to hit in. It is a pitcher's park by all means. You really have to get a hold of one to hit a home run there. And they have some of the best coaching. I mean, hands down, except Dave Roberts. Everyone on that staff is really good. They replaced one good pitching coach with another. You know, and they did the same thing with the hitting coaches. Although their hitters aren't really responding that as good this year, I hate to say it, but the Dodgers are really, you know, they're well run and they've got the money. So it's a tough place to play. They're always going to be in the mix as long as they have this ownership and the way that they're scouting and the way that they're coaching. They're always going to be in the mix. But, you know, again, winning too many games could be a problem. And we've seen it with other teams before. It's rare when you see a team go from, you know, first place from April all the way through and just kick butt the entire way, win triple digits, and then blast through the playoffs. Like, I only remember that with the Yankees a couple times. And look what the Yankees had back then. You had Roger Clemens, Andy Pettitte, what is it? I'm thinking of all those other pitchers they had. Anyway, they had Mariano Rivera in his prime. You had Scott Brosius. You had Jason. You had Jason Giambi later, but you had Jeter. You had Tino Martinez, Paul O'Neill, Jorge Posada. I mean, you had an all-star at every freaking position. Knobloch, you had a great squad for Bernie Williams. You won a lot of games because you had a stacked lineup. I mean, their bench could start for other teams. But nowadays teams don't keep the pedal to the metal like the Yankees did. The Yankees didn't have to win those games in September, but they kept pushing. And Torrey kept putting the lineup out there every day, and they kept playing hard. Nowadays, it's all about rest, and you're getting your guys rest. You're trying the rookies. And, again, I think that's going to mess up the chemistry come postseason. We've seen it happen with the Dodgers before, and we're going to see it again this year. Dodgers will have at least 5 days before a playoff game. Regular season wins mean nothing in the postseason. Exactly, Ace. Who's going to win tomorrow, Rams or Niners? I got the Niners because it's going to be a Niner home game. Let's see. Also, Lennon says, do you think C.J. Cron will return to the Angels in the foreseeable? No, I think his time was here, and it was good while I was there, but he's gone, and he's over there in Colorado, I believe, now. It's either Colorado or Minnesota. So, also, Tune Records says, Jesus says, the women beater, Julio Urias, Clayton Kershaw will choke in the playoffs. Exactly. All right. Let's see. Cron is going to be a Rocky for 3 more years. Oh, yeah, that's right. He signed the extension, Ace. That's true. I thought he was on a 1-year deal. Thank you for that. So, again, that's been a long 2 shows that we put together, not intentionally. This was supposed to be all one, but magically I had some issues. It's to be foreseen with my luck. Anyway, we will talk to tomorrow. I'll be on, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the final 3 games of the season. We'll be talking Angels baseball on the post-game show. And then Wednesday is an afternoon game. And so after the game, I'll do the post-game, and then I believe I'll do another set or show at around this time, probably around like 7 or 8 o'clock, and then we'll give away a bunch of stuff that we didn't get a chance to give away this season. So stay tuned for that, trivia, and will be giveaways, and it should be fun. So, and I'll announce what I'm going to be giving away as we do the show moving forward. So, everybody have a good rest of your night. Hope your week starts out good. Let's go for let's finish the season on a 10-game win streak, can we? So let's see what happens. All right, guys and gals, have a good night. Go Angels.